Okay, perfect. So today I'll be talking about Facebook ads and how to create and utilize video for success. So as Alex kindly introduced me, I am Akvile DeFazio. I'm the president and the digital advertising consultant at Advertise Inc., and we are a social media advertising agency based in Paso Robles, California, which is on the central coast between San Francisco and LA. I have 10 years of experience in the online marketing industry, so my focus is specifically in paid search and paid social. And I've also had a number of years of practicing organic social media marketing as well. And at Advertise, we work with a variety of brands. However, our areas of passion and expertise are brands that focus on paid search, e-commerce, lead generation, mobile apps, and encompass what we'll be talking about. I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking to clients, and maybe some of you are as well, where you're talking to small to medium-sized business owners, and the definition or the topic of video marketing comes up. So, and it's often responded to with reservations. So perhaps people say, I don't have the staff bandwidth, or I don't have the budget, or perhaps I don't even have the high-end equipment. And if that sounds familiar, it does for me. So I'm going to talk about a number of things. So my goal today is to share tips, tools, and tactics for you and your clients to affordably and effectively create video and utilize it in your Facebook campaigns. So we'll talk about why use video, developing goals, and determining who your target audience is, talk about some strategy, and then we'll go through a number of different examples of really well done Facebook video ads throughout the different parts of the funnel and different types of campaigns. Then we'll talk about equipment, what you will need, different video editing tools that are free. And then we'll talk about how to utilize video Facebook ads, from boosted posts, or directly in the Power Editor or Ads Manager interface. And then we'll wrap up with best practices and some Q&A. All right, so let's dive in. Why use video? So is video worthwhile and to create and to promote? And the answer is most certainly. While a video is quickly turning to the primary format of communication between consumers and brands, it's really important for us to kind of dive into that space, even as small to medium-sized businesses, because the newsfeed currently has a lot of static images and static ads. And while bigger brands are doing a lot of video, there's a way for you to get into that space as well with inexpensive equipment and without the use of a videographer. And video also tends to have higher engagement rates. So if we start scrolling down the feed and something catches our eye because it's moving, people are more likely to stop, watch, and then engage with it. And with video, smaller attention commitment from users, and according to some studies, that the human brain actually processes images 60,000 times faster than words. So that's huge. That's just images, but if the images are in movement, like video, it can only be that much more impactful and that much more memorable. And in addition, people only need to see an image for 13 milliseconds before recognizing it. So that's just another way to capture people to do video, because it is that much more impactful. And according to a recent study from Solo Cube Creative, they determined that videos actually get 10 to 30% more views than Facebook ads that use static images. So if you're not convinced by this point, I hope you will be in the next few slides as I continue on. So in terms of goals, before you start developing your storyboard and start filming, you'll want to develop your goals and who your target audience is and where they reside in your marketing funnel. So if they're just coming, if they're just going down their feed and you want to expose your brand to them for the very first time, it's a really great introductory point to run an awareness campaign. And here you can run a number of videos, which we'll go over next. And if they are in a little bit further down the funnel, you'll want to try a consideration type of campaign. So at this point, they've had experience with your brand, they've seen something. So this is another excellent way to test different messaging and to test different types of campaign objectives. So depending if you want to send people to your website to drive traffic, some video views, which you can later use for remarketing and custom audiences and create lookalikes off of those, and to do some lead generation, post engagement, drive some page likes if you want to do fans lookalike at a later point if you don't have enough currently and you want to build that fan base. And event responses, that was just released about 2 or 3 months ago. And if you work with events, this is a fantastic campaign option to where you can drive people to mark that they're interested in your events and mark that they're going, and then later create custom audiences based off of those. And if your users are further down in the funnel and they're not quite making that purchase yet, but are on their way to, test out a conversion type of campaign. So as you can see, video works across all of these different campaign goals and throughout the entire funnel. So let's dive in and see what we can do. So in terms of awareness campaigns, now that you've established your audiences and your goals and you're working towards different storylines and trying to show your story visually, here's some examples of some really well done ads for awareness type of campaigns. So as you can see on the right, or on the left, pardon me, Blossom, they launched a really great ad. The background is simple, the model's wearing black, and while your focus is on her, she's wearing all black so you can focus more on the brighter part of the actual focus of the ad, which is the scarf. So she talks, or she doesn't talk, sorry. She just demonstrates 12 different ways to stylishly wrap your scarf. And it's very perfectly timed for the fall season. And it's great for driving engagement and expanding their brand awareness for just something that's useful to the viewer, like tying a scarf. And on the right, you'll see Mrs. Myers. They do cleaning products. And here they just apologize that video doesn't really do justice in a PowerPoint, but I'll do my best to explain it. In this ad in particular, it's a still image, so they don't move any of the actual products. But here they're showcasing their new product line for the fall season and appropriately with paper leaves. So they use a stop motion photography video. So here, the only thing that creates movement is the colors. So the leaves from left to right turn from yellow to purple and back, and the corresponding labels turn from purple to orange and back. And it's a very eye-catching ad. It's very simple, and you can use ads such as in stop motion, stop motion studio, which I'll mention in a little bit. But those are just some great ideas to do awareness campaigns and how to use video in simple ways to capture people as they're scrolling down their feed to stop and watch and engage with your ads. And some other examples of awareness type of campaigns that are very captivating and will effectively get people to engage and acknowledge your brand and hopefully visit your website. Celestial Seasonings on the left, they are a tea company and they've done a fantastic job creating authentic, natural videos of inviting you to a customer's home as she walks through, shows you her apartment, and while she's doing this, she is brewing a cup of tea, which goes perfectly with their brand, and they do very minor product placements, but it doesn't feel salesy, it feels very natural. So if you have customers that are using your products, and if there's a way that they're comfortable in front of the camera that you can incorporate them, highly recommend doing that. And just to show that you don't need to have a huge production crew and to have overproduced, edited content to do video. Here's an example that Taylor Swift teamed up with AT&T, and here she just uses her phone to do kind of a behind the scenes look of her in the studio making some of her recent songs and her latest album release. And they have a huge budget. You can see that the amount of engagement is substantial. However, if you have a smaller budget, you can see that it does work effectively. And if you have more budget to put towards it, it can be really effective in terms of driving likes, comments, shares, and brand recognition. So whether you're a brand or celebrity, doing a behind the scenes look, even with your phone, works exceptionally well. As we head further down the funnel into the consideration part, there are a number of different campaigns that you can test here as well to drive traffic, video views, lead generation, and the like. And you'll see here on the left, if you're looking for some ideas, particularly in the event space, Soul to Soul Sports is a local sporting company in my area, and it captured my attention with this ad because as I was scrolling through, the only thing that I saw moving was the beautiful mountain landscape, which is right here in the area where I live. And it looked familiar and it caught my attention because I recognized it. And the only thing that they did was just put a nice text overlay, which you can use a lot of apps to simply apply on top of any image or any video. And on the right, you'll see Tim Ferriss. If you're unfamiliar with him, he's written a number of successful books and he has a great podcast. And he did a live Q&A. And like Taylor Swift, he just used his phone and he does have a microphone. So depending on your atmosphere, if you require some better sound for clarity, I highly recommend getting a microphone as well. But here he took the live Q&A and converted it into a Facebook ad, which is a really great way to expand its reach after it was done being live. So if you're a fan and you were able to join in and ask questions while it was live, it's a great way to expand the lifespan of the video and then continue driving more engagement and more recognition for his newly released book. Some other great examples of consideration type of campaigns is to drive people to learn more to go to your website. So here on the left, Tenley, she is a TV personality, and you can use a customer or somebody on your staff that's comfortable in front of the camera. And here she just does an unboxing of HelloFresh, which she's, I think, teamed up with. So here she's doing a food product, a food delivery service. So she's in an appropriate atmosphere. So she's in her kitchen, unboxing it, showing us what it's like to actually get the HelloFresh box at your doorstep and then set it up and cook it. But what I want to really emphasize on this one is that at the bottom, you can see that there's a caption over it. So regardless of the type of video that you're doing, I cannot recommend enough to add captions. It's very easy at the ad level in Power Editor to add captions, and Facebook will just scan your video for any sound and we'll put together all the captions for you, and you can easily go through them and edit anything if it's not a common phrase like a brand name. So definitely add those, because autoplay tends to be in mute, and a lot of people do tend to watch Facebook videos if they're somewhere in transit or maybe in the office or wherever they may be, that they have to listen to it on mute. You don't want your story to go to have any holes in it. So, and be mindful of anyone that's also hearing impaired, because you don't want to just depend on sound to get your message across. Have both the sound complement the visual story that you're trying to portray. And on the right, Food and Wine did another great stop motion video. Here, they're just showcasing their new yogurt. So in the bottom left, they have the new yogurt popping up. And as what caught my attention were the bright colors. They have the simple background. They just have a few things that you might carry in your purse. So it's a little blend of lifestyle and product placement. So as the stop motion video went, they changed from the different fruits and colors that resembled that fruit, from strawberries to lemon, and they had some other flavors. So that's just a simple way to catch attention and get people to learn more about the different products that you have available. As we move further down the funnel, we're down to conversions. So this is the part where we want people to buy, to sign up, to register for your event, whatever your conversion might be. So Tasty on the left, they are owned by BuzzFeed, and if you've ever watched their videos, they do a fantastic job of getting you down that rabbit hole. These videos are quick, they're fun, they're very minimalistic, and they make you feel like you're the one that's doing the cooking and that you're able to do it because they do it from a nice aerial perspective. So they have this minimal text on top, and then for this one in particular, since I received this at the conversion stage because I do watch their videos and most of them are engagement-based, this one is trying to sell me something. So Tasty just came out with a one-top appliance that cooks food, and they just demonstrate it throughout this video. So while you're used to their typical videos where it's a recipe, here they kind of sneak in a little pre-order on you. So if you want to cook with one of their products and check it out, this is a nice way to do it. And Nebbia on the right, they are a spa shower, and here they tastefully and beautifully show customers using their product. And in between the different segments, they start off with just a simple overlay with an image of water droplets. So if you have something that resembles your product that can be blended into the background, and you can do a simple review or a quote overlay from a reputable source, that's really helpful for conversion campaigns, because at this point, the user knows about your brand, but they haven't made the final purchase yet. So this is a great way to kind of add that other layer of trust to a reputable source review or quote and be like, oh, this person reviewed it, they think it's great, maybe they're like me, or if it's a reputable publication, like for this instance, the Wall Street Journal. In that purchase of somebody that has a higher reputation. So if you need that extra little enticement to get somebody to convert, definitely add that in your conversion campaigns. This one on the left was fantastic. It's very simple, but it's incredibly eye-catching. This one used a Cinemagraph, and if you aren't familiar with Cinemagraphs, there's some great companies like Flixel that does it. I'm not affiliated with them, but I just love what they're doing. They're beautiful. They just take simple images, they're static, but they add little slight subtle motions. So on this one in particular, this one caught my eye because as I was scrolling down the feed, the little diamond embellishments on the phone were twinkling, and that was just put on a loop. So you can do it as a GIF and then just upload it as a video, and that captures attention very well. And that's kind of the focus of that ad, and you'll want to shop now if you're into what they're trying to sell here and what the model is wearing. And lastly, Stitch Fix. Here's another great way to use your customers to show how to use your services. So before, with the TV personality and the HelloFresh box, we were showcasing a product and how to unbox it. And here with Stitch Fix, they are a personal stylist wardrobe service. And if you don't have time to shop, or you're not quite as talented as some fashion bloggers and ensemble or putting together your wardrobe, they provide a stylist service to where they'll send clothes that match your personality or your goals of what you're planning to wear, whether it's for work or casual, and you receive it at your doorstep, and you feel great when you wear it, because that's what they showed at the end of the video, that she received the box, it was easy to sign up, and she loved the clothes, and the ones that she didn't, she could easily send back. So showcase your services, showcase your products, and get people to sign up and finally convert. So develop a plan. Now that you've got your target audience, you've crafted your storyline, you've chosen an appropriate location, whether it's a product with a backdrop or something, a lifestyle shoot to where somebody's using something in the kitchen or outdoors or in an office, get in the director's chair, play with the editing tools, and edit and enhance your videos with some overlay text, or try some stop motion video, which is really fun and really captivating because not too many brands are doing it yet. And then launch your campaigns. So in terms of equipment, at bare minimum, you will just need your smartphone. And if you're looking for something a little bit more focused on video, GoPros are also in the affordable range, and they have a fantastic app for editing their videos called Quick. And if you have somebody that has a very nice DSLR camera and is willing to lend it to you, or if you'd like to go a little bit more higher quality, that is an option. But for the purpose of this presentation and just doing videos effectively and affordably, your phone can just blow it out of the water, as we saw with Tim Ferriss and Taylor Swift. They're using their phone and doing behind the scenes things, and you don't need very much, and you don't need to over edit and over produce video to have effective results. So you'll just need a wall and table, or tablecloths, and distraction-free space. And if you don't have, or if the sun isn't cooperating with you, or if it's the wrong time of the day, then you can get some artificial lighting. So just make sure that your videos are well lit. So video editing tools. These are all really great. Most of them are free or freemium, so you can upgrade them if you're enjoying them and you want more options. You can upgrade in app and make purchases for additional features. They are all available in the Apple App Store and Google. And some of my favorites are Boomerang, Stop Motion Studio, and InShot. You may have heard me reference them earlier. Boomerang is nice and quick. It takes a brief several second video and loops it back and forth. Stop Motion Studio has the capability of creating some of the ads like what Miss Myers was using, or Food and Wine with the Yoplait ad for yogurt, where you just create a bunch of photos, but you put them all together and the app easily turns it into a video. And InShot, that's great for text overlay, one of my favorites as well. Definitely recommend checking them out. And here are some others that you might enjoy using as well. So how to promote your video. You can do it through your Facebook page, through a boosted post, or you can go directly into Power Editor or Ads Manager and create an awareness, consideration, or conversion campaign using some of the video ideas that we discussed earlier. In terms of boosted posts, if you haven't done one before, share a video to your Facebook page, and then just click the boost post button below, as seen in this image right here. And it has similar abilities to the ad set level if you're in Power Editor, to where you put your objective, call to action, audience for inclusion and exclusion, your budget, duration, and make sure to track your conversion. So select your Facebook pixel. If you haven't done your payment, just add that in and hit boost. If you are looking to see performance results, just go into the reporting in Ads Manager, and you can do that as well in Facebook Power Editor. And as a bonus tip with boosted posts, you can repurpose boosted posts and test new audiences with them. So say you have one that performed very well for a marketing conference, and then you are traveling to a different location to do that same conference, but in a different place. You can edit the copy of that post and reboost it to a new audience. It will not reset the engagements on it. So if something's working well, keep repurposing it, because you can do so, and it won't reset the engagements like it would if you were to edit the ad in Power Editor. And for the best practices, put yourself in the viewer's shoes. Is it well lit? Is it distraction free? Do I know what the purpose is of your story? Is it clear and audible, and does it have captions? If I'm listening on mute, am I hearing the story? Am I hearing impaired? I also want to know the story. So don't exclude anybody, and make sure that everybody gets the message across of what your visual story is, either through vocally or or visually. And as an advertiser, just make sure that you have the legal rights to music if you have any music playing over it, and apply captions. And the duration can be up to 240 minutes for a Facebook video. But BuzzSumo did a recent study to where they analyzed, I think it was 100 videos, and they said that the best performing video ads were between 60 and 90 seconds. While that might be best for many brands, it might not be right for you. So what I always recommend is to test. See if something works for your storyline that's shorter or longer, and see what works best, and keep doing that, and adjust it as you need. But if 60 to 90 seconds works great, then keep doing that. And in terms of format and file size, here are the ones that you will need to upload an ad. And that is all. Thank you. I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions,